Hey guys, welcome to a new episode of Who is Your Spirit Guide and what is their message to you currently? I'm doing this reading again because it's been such a popular reading. You guys really seem to enjoy it and I really liked doing it. I know a lot of my readings focus on romance, but I actually feel like these message from your spirit guide readings are actually a lot more helpful and healing. They just bring through such powerful messages. So we've got 6 reading options here. And then if you want to stick around for a moment, I'll timestamp this below. I am also going to do a deck walkthrough of the Intuit Oracle deck, which I am going to be using in the reading. And I want to let you know that link to purchase this, I did not create this deck. It's created by a woman named Aria who reached out to me maybe 2 months ago about a deck that she had created. And it's interesting. I'm going to show you the deck here in a moment. If you want to stick around for that, you don't have to. But if you want to go straight to your reading, the timestamps will be below. But I do want to show you what the deck looks like and explain more about why I like the deck. And in fact, I feel like I sort of law of attraction to this deck into my life. So I'll tell you a little bit about that as well. She has a sale going on right now. If you want to follow the link to her website, which is in the description box below, if you're interested in purchasing or learning more about the deck. And on August 22nd at 2 p.m., I am going to be doing free readings using this deck, and one person who's watching, that's going to be a live stream. I've never done a live stream before, so that's going to be exciting. I'm going to be doing some free mini readings. If you want to, push through a little donation, you're welcome to, but you don't have to. But I am going to be doing some free mini readings, and then we're going to do a live giveaway. So we're going to be picking one of you who's viewing that to win a copy of this deck for yourself. So that's going to be really exciting. If you are not subscribed to me, you might want to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you can see what I post in the coming couple of weeks, and so that you can get notified of when I go live so that you have a chance to win this deck for yourself. So guys, I think you've probably had enough time to choose which reading you want. So let's go ahead and get into a deck walkthrough of the Intuit Oracle deck. Again, the timestamps are all below if you want to go straight to your reading as well. All right, so let's look at the deck. So it comes in this great box. It's a very durable box. A lot of times I just discard the boxes of decks and that I get, but this one's really handy. I like how it has this ribbon that helps you pull the deck out. That is always very helpful. I always prefer, that boxes have that, and this one does. It's very pretty as well. The purple really matches the aesthetic of the box. She has some information on here for how to initially connect with your deck and how to, clear it, how to prepare the deck, that kind of stuff. And she gives you a free bag of, what is this called? Tourmalated quartz, which is, it has crystal quartz and black tourmaline within a single stone. So I think crystal, let's see, she says the clear quartz amplifies the potent grounding and protective energy of tourmaline, absorbing and transmuting any negative energy around it. In addition, tourmalated quartz amplifies light energy, clears the auric field of negativity, and creates a powerful field of light. So this is a really nice handful. It's so wonderful. I don't know as much about the metaphysical uses of crystal quartz, but I know that black tourmaline is a protective stone. And so I've been wanting to get some protective stones anyway. So I got them for free with this deck, which reminds me, I wanted to tell you a little bit, and then we'll get into the cards. There are a lot of cards in this deck. Let me see, 118 cards. And we'll get into what those different cards are in a minute. But It's funny, I have, since I started doing this channel, which is about a year ago now, it's almost exactly a year, I believe, since I posted my first video, I've really expanded a lot just in general on the tarot decks and oracle card decks that I have. I didn't used to be a deck collector. In fact, I was like, if you have one deck, that's all you need. Why do you need more than that? And part of it comes from the fact that I'm just not a collector of material things in general. But after starting this channel and really, I started the channel shortly after I realized that people were even doing this on YouTube, doing these kinds of readings. I didn't even realize this existed. And it was so interesting to me to watch other people's videos and see all the beautiful decks they had, which really made me see the benefit of having more than just a deck or two, because it really expands, the types of readings you can do and the types of information that will come through and all of that. And so I thought that was, I have expanded my deck collection. Although I was thinking, before a day or two before Aria contacted me about this deck, I was thinking about, the oracle decks that I have. I'm more of a tarot deck person in general, but I was thinking about the oracle decks that I have. And, you have a lot of decks that just have like one phrase or one word at the bottom, and that does actually help. I like those kinds of decks. But I was just like, you know what? The next oracle deck I get, I really want it to be a deck that has a lot of bells and whistles, like a lot of different keywords on the cards. And I wanted a deck that also had like a timing element, that had an astrology reference, that referenced planets and signs and that kind of thing. So I wanted there to be a lot going on in one deck, which I had not encountered any deck that does all of that all together in the one same deck. So I wasn't sure that it would ever exist, but I was just like, I don't really want to buy another oracle deck until I find a deck that does all of that. And then Aria contacted me to ask if I wanted, to get a copy of this deck and in turn do some readings with it on my channel. Which I'm really happy to do because I love the deck. If I didn't love the deck, I would have just be like, oh, sorry. But it has what I was asking for. You can see like there's an image on the deck, but there's also like multiple keywords here. Let me just go through the deck a little bit more. There are different sections to it. The first section are the first 30-something cards in the deck. They're all numbered. Let's see. Like birds, heart, moon. These are all from the traditional Lenormand. And then she adds another collection beyond that. Let me get one of the higher numbers. I think the cross might be the last one. But so this mortar and pestle, that's not in a normal Lenormand deck. But she added all these extra cards that can also be read in the Lenormand style. So if you're someone who really likes to read with Lenormand cards, or if you like the approach that people take in Lenormand, which is a little bit different than tarot or oracle cards, in Lenormand you always read at least in a pair. So any two cards that are touching each other are going to be read together. It's almost like they create a sentence. It's like a noun and an adjective, sort of. So if we had three cards here, these two cards, their energy would be combined. These two cards, their energy would be combined. But we don't read the cross as being separate from this and this being separate from this. They all kind of influence each other. And there are also larger spreads you can do with Lenormand. I'm not an expert at reading in the Lenormand style. Sometimes with tarot, I will read that way, where if I see two cards next to each other and it seems like their energy wants to combine, then I'll read it that way. And if not, I won't. And that's probably the approach I'm going to take here with these cards as well. But what I like about this is that if you're wanting to learn Lenormand, she's got all these keywords. Most Lenormands, actually, I don't think I've ever seen a Lenormand deck that has keywords here. So you have to memorize the meanings separately, or you have to refer back to a guidebook or whatever. Now, she's made it so much easier for you. So let's say you asked a question and you pulled these two cards, which are both cards from the traditional Lenormand. you know, maybe you don't remember what the meaning of the moon card is. Well, she's got it. She's got all of these different ways that the moon card could be interpreted. And then you combine that with the possible meanings for the cross card. And you could get an invitation to duty. You could get someone who has a very fantasy-oriented spirituality. Someone who is going through romantic trials and so forth. So that's the first part of the deck, as these the initial Lenormand cards and the additional nuance cards that create the first 72 cards in the deck. And then, let's see if I can, I've already shuffled the original 72 cards. Let me find the other ones. And then she's also got a portion of the deck. It's the planetary influencers. So here we can see all of the planets. So you could also shuffle those into the deck, or you could use these separately, whichever way you want. And then beyond that, she also has these cards that have timing on them. They have a timing. The ruling planet here is Neptune, so it still relates to astrology. It is the Princess of Water. She's relating that to Pisces, the sign of Pisces, and she has keywords here again on those cards. So there are a bunch of those. So it's basically all the court cards from the tarot, and each court card from the tarot is associated with a certain sign. It's associated with a certain timing. So this portion of the deck would be a really great, to use for timing questions, or anything that maybe if you wanted to know who a person was, you could use these cards. We have the pictures, which might give you an indication of what the person could look like, but also, of course, these are all models, so you know how many of us look like that, but that's okay. But like hair color, eye color, they're almost all white too, but that's all right. But I'm just saying, like, you can use these to identify who a person is, but also it has the keywords here, and then you could use it, you know, just in the way that you would in a tarot card, court card, again, just to like give a sense of who a person is. I think I've explained that well enough. And she's also got here, which I love because I love spirit animals, she's got 24 spirit animal cards. So that's wonderful, and you could read these spirit cards separately from the rest of the deck too, or you could shuffle them in. In my case, I think I might shuffle these in to the other, the Lenormand style cards for this reading that we're about to do. So that's the Intuit Oracle deck. Like I said, and well, there are 4 final cards here. And these are bonus cards, and these represent the, 4 stages of the moon. 4 of the stages. I know there are more than 4, but we have the new moon, waxing quarter, full moon, and waning quarter, maiden, mother, queen, and crone. So this you could do as well if you wanted to do like a reading for the month ahead, starting with like the new moon. You could put these out as kind of like a placeholder and then draw tarot cards or draw cards from this deck to tell you what's going to be happening over the next month. So that's a way that you could use these. So anyway, I really like this deck. I'm excited to do it in this reading. I've done some readings with it so far just on my own to get used to the deck, but this will be my first time using it here on my channel. So I'm going to put those back in there with their tourmalated quartz. For now, it's going to sit in there. And we're going to go ahead and move on to the reading. So I hope you've picked yours and you're ready for it. Oops. All right, guys, here we go with reading number 1. First, we're going to be asking who is your spirit guide, and there might be more than one guide that comes through. The reading I did before, that happened a lot. So we have this Carolyn Mace archetype deck, which I'm going to use. And then we also have this deck that I've created that we're going to use. And then we're going to get into using the Intuit Oracle deck for the actual message. But these cards are going to help us to determine who your guide or guides are. And then we'll use this to get their messages to you. So some sort of mystical creature or being, like an elemental, you know, like a mermaid or a fairy, the Loch Ness monster, what's the Bigfoot, you know, just any kind of mystical creature, centaur. So there's some sort of mystical creature. And the first time I did this reading, this did not come out, I don't think. I don't think this came out at all. So we have that, and we have ancestor. So I think we have at least 2 guides here. One who is an ancestor, one who's a mystical being. And then we have liberator and eternal child. Now this is supposed to describe who this person is. But I feel like it's kind of describing a little bit as well about their purpose in entering your life. It's I feel like this is I think this mystical creature or mystical being, it's kind of like I don't know, I'm being reminded of Peter Pan. Like this, I feel like one of these guys, probably this one, wants to really connect you more with your inner child. You know, like I said, I keep being reminded of Peter Pan. They want to liberate you from anything that's keeping you from being in touch with your inner child. They want you to feel more free, to be innocent, and you know, to open your eyes to the freshness of new experience, that kind of thing. They don't want you to be held back. They want you to be free. And you're hearing my cat meowing in the background. You're probably going to hear a lot of that. I'm sorry. And then we also have an ancestor. Oh, Coco. And so for the ancestor, I feel like this is an ancestor who was very childlike. It also might be an ancestor who was a child when they passed. So some sort of ancestor that actually didn't live beyond childhood. I'm also feeling like your ancestor may have been involved in some sort of socio-political movement or uprising, or they were living in a time when that sort of thing was very, when that sort of thing was going on, when there was some sort of uprising going on. I feel like this person, this ancestor, was a child, and they didn't live beyond childhood, but they had a mother or older sister who was very protective of them. So their mother or older sister would also be one of your ancestors, but it's the child who's coming forward here, because I think both of these guys want to connect you more to your childhood. So let's see what their messages are to you. Woo! We'll start with this mystical creature. And again, I can't, this is a general reading. I don't know what the specific mystical creature would be. Could be a dragon. Could be, like I said, a mermaid, a fairy, unicorn. A gnome. There are so many. I mean, there's so many different types that it could be. But I feel like it's a mystical creature that wants to connect you, again, like I said, to your inner child. to your sense of innocence. So what does this mystical creature want to say to you? What is their guidance? I'm just going to read these cards in upright. So we have Stallion. So this is a Liberator card, and the Stallion is about breaking free, being unbridled. It's about freedom. And we have Rabbits, and we have the Archer. Well, this mystical being definitely wants to address a need for freedom in your life. Let's see. And I also feel like this mystical being guide wants you to feel an overflow of emotional abundance and fulfillment, especially when it comes to your family life, like having children of your own. I feel like this guide knows that you are someone who really likes to be free. You like to have a lot of freedom. You know, we have a horse on this card as well, but the Archer in general, like, it reminds me of the sign of Sagittarius. The Archer, which again is someone who's very freedom seeking generally. They want you to be able, I think, to balance this need for freedom with this need to bond with other human beings. So I feel like maybe you're having a difficult time doing both of those things. It's either like you can focus on friends and family and those emotional connections, or you feel like you can just go off and be free and be a lone wolf and do your own thing. This guide is telling you that actually you can do both. And I feel like this guide feels like you're really blocking yourself from the ability to experience this waterfall of emotional abundance, this joy that you could be experiencing because you're running away from this emotional experience because you feel like it's going to trap you. You're afraid of getting trapped. So some of you might be thinking about forming a partnership, a sexual relationship with someone, or like actually having a family with someone, having children with someone, but you are a little bit timid about it, a little bit holding back, again, because you're afraid to get fenced in. You don't want to be fenced in. Okay, so that's the situation that the mystical being wants to address. What do they want to say about that? We have the double rainbow. What a beautiful card. Double rainbow book and tornado. Wow. Well, for one thing, you are in for some secrets, like, high-level spiritual gifts are coming to you now. This double rainbow card, it says divine intervention, duality, perfect timing, ascension. I definitely get an ascension feeling here. Serendipity, good luck, cohesive. For book, memory, hidden, mystery, secrets, the unknown, philosophy, intellect, knowledge, education. Tornado, storm brewing, a sudden unexpected end, breakdown, over and done, end, destroy, liberate. Again, liberate and freedom. These are such strong themes here. So I feel like this guide is telling you that if you're open to it, some sort of like cosmic understanding of what freedom really is and what love really is and how the two can work together is going to come upon you. And it might cause some chaos and destruction in its wake, but it's also like this clearing away of energy. I feel like this magical being wants to help you in your ascension process, basically. And a big part of your ascension process is going to be, learning more about the balance between freedom and having loving connections, because when we have loving connections, of course, we're not totally free. We have responsibilities and duties to the people that we love, especially if you have children. But yeah, these big insights are going to be coming to you. What do they want you to do to allow these insights to come in? Grasshopper. Third person. Bridge. So it's funny because if you follow my channel, if you're subscribed on my community page recently, I posted a message about grasshopper. It's definitely a very lucky energy. You know, it indicates kind of good fortune and that things are going to move ahead quickly. I got that from here as well. Like there's a real surge of spiritual growth and ascension. You know, you might start experiencing more fifth dimensional experiences, connecting more to your guides yourself, or, knowing about past lives, or just having psychic abilities that you haven't had before. Feeling like it's easier for you to forgive and have compassion for other people. These are all experiences that we have in the ascension process. I kind of feel like what they want you to do to allow this burst of spiritual growth and ascension to come through is they want you to be easygoing in your love life when it comes to third people. So they want you to be able to bridge these gaps and have harmony and be able to compromise, So what I'm feel like a situation that is coming to mind is if you're in a relationship with someone and they're still friends with someone who they've had feelings for, or who they've even dated before, that kind of thing. I feel like, understanding what it means to be free, but also to be emotionally committed to someone. Do you understand what I mean? And allowing the other person to have freedom. So maybe you're someone who doesn't like the idea of your partner being friends with someone who they've had a romantic history with, for example. And I feel like the guidance here is that you need to understand, because I feel like you're someone who really enjoys freedom. You have to understand, both people have to come to a greater understanding and an acceptance of what freedom means within the confines of an emotional commitment that you're making to someone. And it's about learning to communicate more effectively with your partner about that. Or if you're not in a relationship, maybe this is a fear that you've had. You've had a fear of being with someone and then them still having a friendship or still having contact with someone, which happens all the time. If people have kids with someone else from a previous relationship, they're going to still have to be in contact with that person, for instance. Or, if you all have mutual friends, there are many reasons why there might be these third persons out here who you actually do have to accept as being part of your partner's life, or that they have to accept as being part of your life. So there's going to be a huge burst of spiritual growth and ascension the more you're able to leap over any kind of feeling of a rivalry or jealousy, or feeling like this person can't love me unless their focus is only on me, or also being able to free yourself of the grip of people who are codependent in that way if it doesn't serve you. Try to bridge the gap, try to communicate about it and understand each other better about it. Don't just jump right out of the relationship just because someone doesn't want you to have friends, but it's really about addressing those issues. I feel like basically that's what this guide wants you to do, is address issues regarding the conflict between freedom and actually, being committed to someone emotionally. So let's see if there's any final messages butterfly, raccoon, clover. You know, and some of it might too that, you know, sometimes a person just has sort of like a flirty personality, and it doesn't mean that they're a cheater or anything like that. It's just part of their personality. But yeah, you're definitely going to be undergoing like a real personal reinvention. This is going to be very beautiful, the change that you go through when you address this issue that we've been talking about. You know, you need to embrace change, because some of this change, we had that tornado card before, it's going to be unwelcome, but that change is happening for a reason. Like the butterfly or the caterpillar goes into the cocoon, and it's entirely like its entire body is broken down. That can't be a super pleasant experience. And when it's in the cocoon, does it know what's going to happen at the end of it? I feel like the caterpillar just trusts the process of change. And then because the caterpillar is able to trust that, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do, then they come out the other side of it with wings, you know, with wings, which they never had before. It gives them the ability to have higher experiences than they've had before. And so you're going to be doing that as well. And I think that your guide is also asking you, like, if you're curious about how to go about all of this, don't be afraid to ask questions. Be curious. And also, even though we've had this message about how you're going to have some kind of like really high level, like kind of like a spiritual upgrade, you know, the raccoon also says to me, like, you're just human, you know, nobody's going to expect you to be perfect here or anything. But good fortune is definitely coming your way. And I feel that, you know, the further message is don't get so hung up and worried about this. That is the opposite of how you should approach this. You need to approach this from, you know, a happy-go-lucky, carefree, with that kind of carefree sort of energy, you know. So that's what I get for the mystical creatures message. Let's look at your ancestors message. Let me pull these cards back. Now, what we said about the ancestor was I felt like this was an ancestor who didn't live past childhood, and they may have lived in a time when there was some sort of socio-political uprising that affected them. Like they were in the group that was rising up or trying to liberate themselves. And I feel like this person was guided and protected either by an older sister or a mother, maybe even an aunt, but like an older protective female figure. Want to talk about, we have the raccoon coming up again. Raccoon Man Church. I'm going to clarify man here. Oh, diamond ring. Okay, so this ancestor child of yours, let's see, I'm trying to get the message here. Liberate, the word liberate again. So I feel like there's something to do with liberating yourself as well from certain traditions or dogma. And this could be like religious dogma. It could be political dogma, or, you know, like laws or rules, maybe that you don't agree with. How to liberate yourself. So that you can live out your own values and not have to live within the confines of someone else's values. I think that there might be something in your life where maybe there is a a romantic partner or a romantic interest of yours who might have different religious or political or spiritual beliefs than you do in a way that's sort of significant. So I think that your ancestor is trying to help you problem solve that. You know, how can you make that work, sort of? Because I feel like you do want longevity in this relationship, or this, you know, if you have feelings for this person, you want it to go somewhere. I mean, you know, we have the diamond ring here. You want it to go to the next level. You're wanting it to continue and to develop. You're ambitious about what you want to come of this romantic connection. So I think this ancestor is trying to help you problem solve the fact that there might be differences in values between the two of you. You still obviously love the person and are attracted to them, but you're not really sure how to overcome these differences of values, differences in belief systems, ideologies. So what is the advice? I'm going to pause for a moment so I don't have to rush myself trying to understand what the message is. I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got the message here. So I feel like what your guide is saying to you is that the connection that you have with this person is very deep. It's a very abiding love. This person is almost like family to you. It could be for some of you, you've had a reawakening of lost hopes regarding this person. Maybe you had lost hope on this person and now you feel like there is hope to be with them or for it to work out the way you want. But I feel like whatever's happening, you know, this connection with this person is actually increasing. There's a catalyst here between the two of you that is really igniting this connection for a reason. And your ancestor guide is warning you not to be wearing a mask. So maybe you think this person has different beliefs than you, but it would be wrong to try to pretend to be who you think they want you to be. That would lead to destruction. It would lead to a breakdown of what binds the two of you together to begin with. So even if you don't have the same exact beliefs, there's something that binds the two of you, and this act of wearing a mask or pretending to have values that are different from the ones that you actually have, that would only cause destruction to this bond that the two of you have. Because there's this sort of alchemy. Something brings you together with this person other than your, you know, shared or, you know, difference of values or spirituality or whatever. There's something else that brings you together, and that what binds you would be torn down by you pretending to be someone you're not. Let's see what else. Head of the pack, key, woman, bouquet, stalemate, yarn. Because when I pulled these cards, I was wanting to know more about what it is that does bind the two of you. I think that you're both really good at what you do. especially if you do something that's creative, you both kind of like, one of you might be the muse for the other person, or maybe you're both muses to each other. You really inspire each other to really succeed in life, and how to strategize in your life in order to reach your goals and be successful, to be competitive, you know, when it comes to, I don't know, whatever it is that you're trying to compete in. I feel like this is probably more about career success, life purpose, that kind of thing. You both, what brings you together is either you have a shared life purpose, and that's part of what brings you together, or both of you really influence each other to forge ahead and be successful with your life purpose. I think you may also be coming into this person's life to help unravel them from a tangled up situation. They might actually be, and we talked about that third person before, this person could be in a relationship with someone else and meeting you, or there's something about your energy which makes them feel that they need to move on from that, or, you know, it's kind of like a call to action that, hey, this is not for my best interest, or it's not for anyone else's best interest either. It's kind of like you help this person solve the puzzle of their life, and maybe it's not even about, you know, a third person. It could be about, you know, addictions, just feeling trapped in life, feeling like they don't know how to move forward, and you've sort of like brought back this inspiration for how they can really approach life in a more fulfilling way. Or they've done this for you, or both of you have been kind of the key to giving each other insight and clarity. You provide each other with solutions for how to win in life, basically. So that's what brings you together. And if you try to be someone who you're really not, then all of this wonderful energy that brings you together, where you inspire each other to do greater things, it's like that goes out the window. If you're pretending, then you're no longer going to be that inspiration to this person, and you're not going to be inspired by them either, if they're wearing a mask or if you are. So all this wonderful uplifting energy and the way that you encourage each other to succeed in life, you would be undoing that if you tried to pretend like you have the same beliefs as them when you really don't. So guys, reading number 1, I hope you enjoyed that. That's what I'm getting for your message. Those were some interesting messages. Let me know in the comments how you felt about that. And I'll see you later. Bye, guys. All right, guys who chose reading number 2, I'm going to spray some clary sage spray to clear the space for your reading. Got some lemongrass in it too, which is nice and uplifting. So first we're going to figure out who your guide or guides are. And for that we're using these Carolyn May's archetype deck cards. We have the Networker and God. So definitely a very high-level spiritual being, I think, coming through. I'm going to use this deck as well. Alien. Interesting. Okay. So I think we have 2 guides coming through, and this is, I feel like this Networker card is indicating a soulmate. So this would be someone who's currently alive, and their higher self is connecting with you through this reading to bring you a message. So we also have God, clarified by the alien. So I feel like this is some, like I said, it's you know, maybe what we would think of as an alien, you know, a being from another star system, But this is a very spiritually advanced being from another star system. That's how I would interpret that. And, you know, a lot of people think that, you know, that ancient people were visited by aliens and that sometimes they perceived these aliens to be gods. So it also could be some sort of alien being who has visited Earth before and who has been perceived that way by Earthlings. But I think in general, this is just going to be some sort of alien. You could think of it as, you know, just a high-level spiritual entity from another star system. So let's start out with this soulmate networker and see what their message to you is. So like I said, this is going to be a soulmate. Soulmates don't always have to be a romantic connection. This can be a friend. It can be family. Some, you know, our pets, animals can be soulmates. I feel for you guys, though, this is probably more of either a friend. I get a strong friendship energy here. Or maybe romantic. I think for a lot of you this might be friendship though. I feel like this is someone who's really well liked and has a very calming energy. I feel like this probably is a woman or someone who has very strong feminine energy. Someone who maybe likes to communicate a lot through the written word. Someone who knows a lot of people and is well liked by a lot of people. So let's go ahead and use the Intuit Oracle deck to see what their message is to you. We've got Squirrel, Mortar and Pestle, and Scythe. So I feel like this is going to be more about like why they're, what the area of your life is that they're reaching out to you about. So we have Squirrel. I'm drawn more to miscommunication, especially because the networker is all about communicating information. Miscommunication, breaking things down. I feel like they want to talk to you about some sort of miscommunication. It might be a miscommunication between the two of you, or just some sort of misunderstanding that they're aware of you having. We have the Moon. Yeah, there's definitely some sort of something that's secretive, that's unknown. I kind of feel like this person in real life, they've had some sort of misunderstanding with you and they want to clear it up, basically. Because they want to bring back the happy times that you had. They want to be comfortable in your presence, and they want you to feel comfortable in their presence. You know, they want to spend time with you in each other's homes again, just having fun. Again, this feels to me like a strong friendship energy. So I feel like this may be a friend who you have not been in contact with, or there's been some sort of conflict. Like I said, it seems like a misunderstanding of some kind. I feel like they would want to have like a very direct conversation with you. They want a fresh start. Getting this card wanting to come out kind of like as a guiding card. This person feels very protective about you. They feel a lot of kindness, a lot of forgiveness. They think that you're very beautiful and unique. This person has a very high opinion of you. They see you as someone who really has big aspirations in life and is moving forward very quickly toward reaching your goals in life. They think that you're very intelligent, almost like you're a genius. They see you as a very helpful person as well. They see you wanting a new beginning also. I feel like mostly what this person wants to say is maybe the two of you have had some sort of miscommunication, and what from their higher self, what they want you to know is that really they want the best for you. Maybe there's something that's blocking them from being able to communicate more directly, which I think is what they would prefer. I think they see you as a direct, shoot from the hip type person. But for whatever reason, you're not understanding each other. But this person, I think basically what they want you to say is if there's been some sort of conflict or misunderstanding in your friendship, their higher self wants you to know that even in their three-dimensional self, they don't hold any grudges or anything. This person actually just really wants the best for you. Even if it means that you have to move away from them, even if it means leaving them behind, they understand why you would feel like you needed to do that. They also understand that you're really trying to achieve a lot in your life right now, and they admire that. So let's just ask, is there anything else this person would want to say to you? We get the Wheel of Fortune, the Road, Letter, Sun, Wolverine, Butterfly, yeah, I mean, I feel like the message continues to be like they really see you pursuing your fortune in life right now. They see that you're very full of energy. You're radiating this successful energy. Like you have this force that's drawing you forward in life. And you're having to make choices as you proceed along your journey. You're having to weigh the options. And I think they feel that you see them kind of like this Wolverine, like unpredictable, that there are power struggles between the two of you, that there's a lot of assertiveness, maybe even possessiveness, someone being elusive or difficult to get in touch with or something like that. But so they understand why you're making decisions to continue your life maybe without them, if that's what you are choosing, or they understand why your focus is so much on these other areas of your life where you're really being very successful and making a lot of headway. I feel like they're open to, and I think they're hoping for communication. They do hope that happens eventually, that the two of you will get to the point again where you can communicate more. They feel like losing you would be like losing a very supportive friend. But it's sort of like they also know that the two of you have this foundation of understanding each other. You have a lot of really happy memories together. the two of you could really collaborate and do something great together and really work together and have a lot of harmony. But it's sort of like they understand that maybe you need to go on some sort of journey in life that doesn't include them. And that does hurt them because they're very loyal to you and they don't want to lose you. They feel like you have roots with your past, with these happy memories, where the two of you, you've had a lot of laughs together. You've been very playful together. You've cut up, you've had jokes, you've had laughs together. You've had joy together. I think that they're hoping, what they want to say is, I hope that someday we can reconnect in this beautiful, joyous way and experience that again together. But they're saying also, I understand that your compass is pointing you towards your true north right now. And that's a path you're going to have to take. And it may mean leaving me behind, at least for now. I think it's basically like, I understand you need to go your own way right now, but I do hope eventually you will come back to me and we'll be able to have a happy reunion and understand each other better. So that's the message I'm getting from the Soulmate guide who's coming through. Let's look at the alien, higher level spiritual being from another star system. Your alien guide. Let me reshuffle and we'll see what they're wanting to talk to you about. Probably a lot of you watching this are star seeds. These are souls who have incarnated from, they've had a star seed is someone who's had a previous incarnation or multiple incarnations in another star system. And generally, star seeds come here and they choose to be incarnated into the earth plane so that they can assist with the Earth's ascension. So, there are, there's intelligent life in other galaxies and whatnot where ascension has already occurred. And it's not going to be the same for every star system. People don't always evolve in exactly the same way. But these are beings who want to help Earth because they understand that we are nearing a point of crisis. And that it's going to take everyone, It's kind of like an old-fashioned barn raising. The whole community comes together and they raise the barn together because they understand that assisting on the earth plane, because we are all connected universally, we're all one. These star seeds, because they tend to be more enlightened spiritual beings, have an understanding that helping earth beings and their own ascension process is going to really benefit the whole that we're all a part of. Okay, so what does this alien guide want to talk about? We keep having the scythe coming up. Scythe road ship. So I feel like this star being, I'm going to say, just like your soulmate friend who was coming through before, they understand that you're really going places right now. Like you're embarking on some important leg of your life's journey. And I feel like there was something shocking or surprising, something unexpected that happened, which put you into a crossroads in life. And that crossroads, you had to make a choice, and now you've embarked upon the journey, and it's a very beautiful journey. I think it's going to be very enlightening. So this is the area of life that this star being wants to talk to you about. All right, so what do they want to say about this new journey that you're embarking on in life? Get the fish. Stepping stones. Clover. So I feel like what they're saying is you're going to have the easiest time of whatever this new journey is that you're embarking on if you if you take it step by step. Just take baby steps. You don't have to take one great big leap all at once, but you know, I feel like they're also trying to remind you that you've already, like if you looked behind you, you would notice all of the steps you've already taken. Like how far you've already come, and you forget how far you've come. They want you to understand and be rewarded by looking back and really seeing how far you've really come already on this. I mean, it's a fairly new endeavor that you're going down, some sort of new journey in life. Could be related to finances or money for some of you. For others, I think it might just be more like a spiritual or some sort of personal journey. But they want you to be easygoing with this, basically. Like, relax, take it one step at a time. That's their message, primarily. What else would they like to say? I think they also want to talk to you about some sort of deep soul connection, and this would be soulmate, twin flame, true love, the one. Whether you found that person or not, your guide here wants to talk to you about all of the emotions, and you know, there's a lot of energy coming from your heart space. I'm going to pull a clarifier for the lion. I feel like they're saying also that there has been some sort of soulmate or twin flame experience, which is a very emotional experience. It's brought a flood of emotions, and it may be in some way connected to this new journey that you're embarking on. Maybe this person has inspired you to embark on a new journey or something. But this person is really inspiring a lot of positive change in you, which is part of your overall spiritual progression in life. But again, they're like, take it easy, one step at a time. There's something about being very powerful too. Like this person is very powerful. They're very confident, or they're trying to transform and become more powerful and confident. If you've been waiting for the green light, if you've been waiting for things to move ahead, if you've been waiting for them to visit you or message you, there are certain forces of the universe that are guiding this person as well. This person is guided. This person is being guided when it comes to you also. So what's the essential message that we're needing to get here? I do feel like this love interest of yours as well, they really connect very strongly to spirit animal messages or spirit animal healing. Magnet. They also want you to know that this person hides their emotions. So you might not know how much this person desires you. They do. It's like a romantic love, a very faithful, deep soul connection. You know, there's a mature sexual attraction here. There's that magnetic desire, magnetic attraction, yearning. They yearn for you. They may not be letting on to that, though. This person feels like it's in their best interest not to show all their cards. So why is this star person guide, star being, wanting to talk so much about your connection, your romantic connection to this person? I think part of it is because the two of you are probably really influencing each other's ascension process. You know, because this guide would probably be helping you with your own ascension process. But yeah, so we have tracks Milky Way. So a reference to the cosmos, the cosmic connection here. Steady forward movement, Milky Way compass. Yeah, I mean, you are here. You are here on the earth as a star seed. You're here to facilitate steady forward movement, one step at a time. Easy does it. But steady forward movement in really progressing the earth, you know, our galactic leveling up process. You're here to help with that. And I think that this guide just wants you to want to remind you of how important this connection is in helping you to understand what your actual life path is, specific purpose is that you're supposed to achieve that is going to help level up the earth in its ascension process. So this person is really integral to you and helping you progress spiritually in life and contribute to the ascension process in the way that you specifically were meant to do, because we all have a different way that we're meant to contribute to that process. So we have tree, Celtic knot, and woman. So this is unconditional love. This is legendary, eternal love. The tree here speaks to past lives and personal growth. So I feel like, you know, they just want you to know how important this person is to you. So what advice do they give you regarding this person, this aspect of your life, in order to facilitate this impact that you have on each other? We have moon, bridge, and tornado. There's definitely a lot of unconscious stuff, probably a lot of it from past lives, although some of it might be from this lifetime as well. But there's a lot of karma, I feel like, that needs to be cleaned up between the two of you. You all have had to overcome a lot of barriers. There's a lot of compromise needed in order to allow the two of you to really experience the fullness of your chemistry together. You have such strong chemistry, which is why you're so magnetically attracted to each other as well. But I kind of feel like cleaning up this karma from, I think, mostly from past lives, but also from this lifetime, cleaning up, it's like it's weighing down your soul for both of you. And that's why this karma needs to be released and cleared up. But it's like you're balancing the need to do this shadow work, to go through this dark night of the soul, really clear out your soul's energy, with your need to feel complete. and like to start new in life. It's like you want to, you want to break down and get rid of the stuff that's been holding you back at the level of your soul. I mean, a lot of this, like I said, most of it is unconscious. We don't just walk around knowing everything about all of our past lives. Some people know more than others, but there's just a lot of stuff here that needs to be cleared out, and that's a difficult process. I feel like your guides, including this one, are going to continue to work with you on how to clear out, all of this gunk that's weighing you down, this karma. Because you're balancing letting go of the old with clearing a ferocious path with this tornado, clearing a ferocious path for what's new and what's right. Because some of you are trying to destroy your future. You're getting a little bit mixed up. You know that you're trying to create something new, embark on a new journey in life. And a lot of it relates to this love interest that we're talking about. But in your process of clearing up the karma from your past, some of you may be creating new karma. So it's like just finding the balance between these two, so that instead of creating new karma, you're just clearing a path for this balanced awareness of life. I also feel like this guide is, it's telling you that meditation and mindfulness, a mind, body, spirit approach to your well-being is what's going to help you to move forward on this new journey in life. So that you can embrace new experiences as a child does, with that, meditators call it with beginner's mind, like a child sees a tulip for the first time, and it's amazing. They've never seen a tulip before, even if they've seen other flowers. It's new to them. But as we get older, we forget how to approach the world in that way. Everything seems kind of humdrum and boring. So I think you're meant to embrace more of the serenity of like a mindful meditative approach to life. And that's actually going to facilitate this love connection as well. And the benefits that this love connection brings to your life, which is, like we said, it sort of charges you up in achieving all that you're meant to achieve in life. So this has been kind of a long reading, but guys, I really hope that you enjoyed that and you got a helpful message out of it. I'm going to go ahead and move on, but I'll see you later. Bye, guys. Hi, guys who chose reading number 3. I'm just going to spray some Clary Sage spray to clear this space for you guys. So the first question we're going to ask is, who is your guide or guides? So we've got hedonist and servant coming up here to kind of give us an indication of who these people might be. But I'm also going to pull some cards from this deck that I've created here. Also give us some more information about who this is. Okay. So what I've been getting so far in the readings is I feel like for most of you, they're going to be two guides coming forward. For you, we have a mystical creature or being, and that mystical creature or being is a hedonist. I think for some of you, this might be a siren, like a siren out in the ocean. I feel like it's a mystical creature or being that is very feminine in its energy. It also might be a muse, from mythology, the muses. But definitely some being that really enjoys being hedonistic in some way. They love to enjoy the sensual pleasures of the earth. And then I think we have an angel. And so it makes sense that the card says servant. It says delight in serving others with a free and loving heart, which is exactly what angels do. And we all can connect to angelic energy and angelic guides. So they're pretty much around us all the time. But we do have an angel who wants to deliver a specific message to you. Let's start with the mystical creature, this hedonistic mystical creature. What do they want to talk to you about? I'm going to use the Intuit Oracle deck for this portion of the reading. What does this mystical being want to talk to you about? Third person, rider, beaver. Okay. Well, there's some sort of warning regarding a third person. So usually when we hear the term third person, it refers to a love life or some sort of, like a love triangle, some sort of love situation where there's maybe a rival or someone else is influencing the relationship or the connection. So I feel like that's what they're wanting to talk to you about. There's something that's working against you regarding this third person situation. I feel like somebody involved in this situation has been acting like they just don't really care. There's someone who is just very free-spirited and doesn't want to be hemmed in. Whatever this situation is, it appears that it doesn't bother them so much that there's a third-party situation. And then I think there's another person here who feels like this is a very tangled up situation. It requires a lot of determination, persistence, a lot of hard work. So there's someone who's doing a lot of hard work to try to make this connection work. And then there's someone else here who's just like not committed. They're just very wanting to be focused on, they're like, so what? I don't care. I just want to ride off into the sunset. So what does this guide of yours want to say to you about this situation? We have the snake, jealousy, deception, crossroads, the dog, the bear, the child, and heart. So I feel like, if there's a woman in this situation, most of my viewers are women, but there's someone in this situation who's female, and the woman is, and there can be more than one woman, obviously, but if you're a woman, this is probably you. I think that you're trying to figure out if, and this is, I know that a lot of you come to this and you're not wanting information about romance, but this is a message that's coming through. You're trying to figure out if a love interest of yours, are they really someone who you can depend on? Someone who would be someone you could lean on, who could be supportive to you? Or is this someone who is toxic and would betray you or deceive you? I feel like you're trying to figure it out. You prefer to take the more innocent approach, and you would prefer to see them as the bear, someone who's protective, someone who benefits you. Maybe could be also someone who would be a good provider. That's the way you would prefer to see this person, but I think there's something that's happened between the two of you that's causing you to doubt that. And it's making you, it's causing you to be at a crossroads where you feel like you have to choose and weigh your options. Sort of like, should I stay or should I go? But we do have a dog, a very supportive friend, and heart. I feel like this is a very loving, loyal person. Let's try to figure out quickly what the message is. What's your guide's advice? I feel like you need to have a very direct conversation with this person. Because there are a lot of things that are clouded. And like I said, it seems like this person just doesn't care. That's the perception that they give off, that they're just kind of free will in it and not really concerned about how this affects anyone else. But I don't think that that's the case. I think that that's just how it looks to you. It's more so how it looks to you. Oh, this was up here. So I feel that you need to be able to read beneath the lines, but you also need to, I say, like, don't be afraid to stir up the situation by asking questions. You're not cursed. You know, just because you're unclear, just because things are confusing, there's some sort of misunderstanding here. There's something that's unknown. I feel like it's making you feel like you're cursed, or that there's just no way out of this. Maybe you even feel guilty, especially if there is a third person. Maybe that's causing you to feel guilty in some way. But you feel guilty, and I feel like you're the only one who feels guilty. You're the only one who really cares. So just so speak directly. Any final advice here? I'm going to pause for a moment so I can figure out the message. Okay, so I've drawn a couple more cards here. I feel like, for one thing, this love interest of yours is much more alone and lonely than what you're aware of. I don't think that you are aware of how lonely they feel, or how alone they are in life. You maybe see them as being unpredictable, or that there are a lot of power struggles, or that this person is elusive. I think especially elusive, because we have elusive here and then the mask. But what they're hiding is, I think what this person's hiding is how unhappy they are. And you're being asked to believe in your power and to have greater confidence about, in general, your ability to have a playful, lighthearted, fun, peaceful, harmonious, joyful, emotional bond with someone. You know, you feel like it's your destiny to have that sort of alchemy with somebody else. And it could be that this experience you're having is making you doubt whether or not you're ever going to be able to achieve that happy life with someone that you're wanting to have. Your guide here is saying that yes, you can have that happiness. You know, it may or may not be with this person, but you can, in general, have that happiness. Just because you're having a difficult time with this person doesn't mean that you can't have it in general. So what's this guide's best advice for how you can achieve that? You know, like, really embrace your unique traits, your quirks. You know, you're a very adaptive curious, clever, resourceful person. And it's sort of like, you know, raccoons also can be, they wear a mask, you know, like people all maybe underestimate you in general. Like they, not that you're trying to wear a mask, but I think there's something about you that keeps people from seeing the real you. How beautiful you are, how wonderful you are. Everyone doesn't always see that. So I feel like the more you can really embrace how unique and wonderful you are and really have confidence in yourself, and don't be afraid to be who you are, you know, like you know, some people would view the raccoon as a pest, digging in the garbage cans. They would think, you know, raccoons are gross, but raccoons are really fun, you know. So it's, I feel like there are certain aspects of yourself that you think other people would not be attracted to, but you're wrong. That's what this, it's like, be a hedonist about yourself. You know, be a hedonist in terms of like embracing how awesome you are. Celebrate the beauty in yourself. You know, whoever this guide is, they're very good at celebrating their own beauty, even if other people don't see that beauty within them. They know that they're very unique, and then they bring their own quirks, wonderful quirks. And you need to know that about yourself as well. And that's what's going to bring about this higher level love, romantic love situation that you are seeking. So that's from your first guide. Let's look and see what your angel guide wants to say to you. First we'll ask, what do they want to talk to you about? What's the situation they want to address? The white wolf, waterfall, balance. I think, you know, I think that they want you to be more confident about trusting your inner guidance, or even trusting, you know, maybe sometimes you feel like you're being guided in terms of your spiritual growth, in terms of like connecting to like a waterfall of spiritual nourishment, and spiritual awareness, calmness, serenity. Sometimes you might feel like you're being guided towards these things, but then you doubt it. And so I feel like your angels want you to have more confidence, to trust your ability to connect with your guides, basically, especially as you're pursuing like just happiness, this sense of like serenity and relief. So like they want you to trust your intuition more, basically, especially when it relates to connecting with guides. Okay. And again, I feel like the angel is telling you that you have a lot of guidance right now, specifically regarding your romantic life. And I know that some of you are like, I chose this reading because it was not a romantic reading. But I mean, the guides will bring through the messages that they need to bring through. Our love lives are just a very important aspect of our lives. I know it's not for everybody, but for most of us, we are trying to find someone who we can, you know, have that, you know, romantic love with. And, you know, in some cases we want to find that person we can build a life with. But I think that there's a message here that maybe you felt lonely, or you felt that other people are standoffish with you. You felt isolated with other people. You know what I'm getting as well? It's like the stronger your attraction is to someone, it's like the less likely you feel that you're ever going to be with them. So like when you have those firework experiences, it's almost like to you're like, well, this is never going to work out, because that's just the experience you've always had, is that when it's so electric and exhilarating, when you're on fire, where it's this explosive attraction, you're like, that never works out. I always get left in the dust in those situations. But I feel like there's more to the situation that you're not seeing. About maybe about why you tend to have that pattern of like an explosive, like lightning charged attraction to someone that doesn't work out and leaves you feeling alone and isolated. And I feel like your angel guide is telling you, unless you know where you're going, like what do you really want out of your love life? If you don't know that. Hey guys, sorry about that. My camera stopped recording for a few minutes without me realizing that it was happening. So I had continued on with the reading. So what I was saying was, your guide here is telling you that that you need to have a better idea of what it is you're wanting out of your love life. And then we got more of a message here as well. You're hearing my cat meowing down there. And maybe it's better because now I think I can explain the message much more quickly and succinctly than I was before. But, oh, kitten, come on. They're saying that, you know, in the past, I don't think I said this before on the part that actually got recorded, but yeah, in the past, no, I did say this. When you've had these kind of explosive attractions before, you've been left feeling lonely and isolated. It hasn't worked before. Or if I haven't said that before, I am saying it now. Like you always feel like, you know, sometimes there's like, we're kind of attracted to someone, but it's like, And then other times there is like, it's undeniable. And when you have those undeniable attractions, which is probably like more like the people who are, you know, there's a significant soul bond with that person, it ends up not working out for you. So I feel like the message is here that the way that you can be more successful when you have those explosive, magnetic, undeniable attraction, where there's like this gravitational pull to someone, and you're like, I don't even know why I like them as much as I do, but I do. They're saying that what you have been missing is an aspect of spiritual understanding. And what I also got here about that was that you guys have been programmed to view romantic relationships in a certain way, you know, specifically in a way that maybe makes you feel kind of limited, or you feel like you can't you know, you've been led to believe that, you know, significant romantic relationships are supposed to be a certain way. And I feel like that certain way that you've been told that a romantic relationship has to be, you need to be willing to see beyond that, because that may not be what works for you. What works for other people may not be what works for you. And so I feel like your guide here wants you to like look at things differently. What is a spiritual union with someone? A transformative spiritual union with someone? Does it involve being like bound to each other in a kind of heavy way that makes you feel weighed down and trapped? Sometimes you may have seen a lot of people come together in marriages where it is like that. And I feel like you're being asked to move beyond that kind of limited way of thinking about relationships. Just because you've seen a lot of people come together in ways that were you know, they bound themselves together in ways that were very destructive. That doesn't mean that you have to do that. And I feel like what they're saying, that you're really wanting more. I feel like you're wanting a spiritual bond with someone, or, you know, a romantic partner, where you're like opening each other's eyes to new horizons, where also you have a happy, comfortable life, where you can make each other's wishes come true. So yeah, I mean, I think that that is overall your angel's message to you. Like I said, I got a little detached from the reading there because I had to pause and get this stuff off of my phone and then come back. So I hope that that was not, I hope that was rather a seamless transition. I know it wasn't completely. Let's just ask, is there any final message about anything else that your angel wants to talk to you about? I feel like they want you to take it easy and not be so worried about things. Like, sometimes life is complicated, but I feel like they're saying that sometimes you might, in the way that you're thinking about things, actually complicate it more than what is necessary. Like, you create a greater sense of complication in your head. Things get tangled up and you get confused. You know, I feel like they want you to know that if you continue to do this, you're going to create illness and fatigue, anxiety. This is not going to be good for you, and it's not going to help you to get where you want to get in your romantic life or any other area of your life. So I think they also are just reminding you, focus on the positive. You know, don't be afraid also to be flirtatious or fun-loving, to go with the flow. You don't have to get yourself tangled up in something. You can be more relaxed and just comfortable and at ease. And that would be a good way of approaching life. And if you have been approaching life in this way, I would see this as like a congratulations, like good job, you've been doing great work. And a lot of times our guides do want to just get in touch with us to affirm and validate the choices and behaviors we've already been engaging in. So, all right, people who chose number 3, I hope that you really enjoyed that message. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you around. Bye-bye. Hey guys who chose reading number 4, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to spray some clary sage spray to clear the energy before we get started. So the first thing you'll notice here, we're using this Carolyn Mace archetype deck. And I'm going to use this homemade deck as well that that I've got here to help us figure out who your guide or guides are. I think there are probably at least 2 guides in each reading, but we'll see what comes up. We have Angel, and Soulmate. I think those are the same 2 that came out. Okay, we have this one kind of wanting to fall out as well, which is Ascended Master. I do feel like the Soulmate is going with the Pioneer card. And we'll just take this separately. So I feel like you guys maybe have 3 guides that are coming through. We have a soulmate, which could be a friend, it could be a family member. You know, soulmates can be not just romantic, although it could be that as well. Someone you have a romantic connection with. And this person is coming through from their higher self. They're connecting with you through this reading in order to bring forth a message. I feel like this is someone who wants to help you with some ideas, or like if you're embarking on new territory, if you something like that. They, you know, it says passion for doing and creating what has not been done before. I feel like that's kind of, this person might have a very pioneering spirit. I also feel like they're very smart. This is an ideas person. So this is going to be someone you know in real life, and they're connecting to you through their higher self in order to bring forward a message. But we'll see more what the message is here in a moment. You guys, I feel like maybe you have a lot of guides coming through. I'm actually feeling, and when I first pulled these, I thought they might go together anyway. So I feel like the soulmate is someone who, so it says skill at navigating through different levels of consciousness, ability to see the potential in everything. This might be a friend or a romantic soulmate or just someone you have a significant soul connection with who is very good at certain kind of spiritual practices, you know, elevating their consciousness, having those light bulb moments, like just having really high level spiritual awareness. Or that could be the subject that they want to discuss with you. We'll see more when it comes through. And then we have an ascended master and we have an angel. So we'll come to each of these in turn. I'm going to start out with this energy, and we're going to get the message from this particular soulmate guide, and then we'll move on to the angel guide and the ascended master guide. So we'll try to keep these brief because you've got 3 guides coming through. I'm using this Intuit Oracle deck to bring through the message from each of the guides. So what does your soulmate guide want to talk to you about? We have heart, we have snake, and we have broom. Something about clearing away deception that's keeping you from your heart's desire is what I feel like. So clearing away deception that's keeping you from your heart's desire. What would that be, your heart's desire? Oh, I didn't realize that card was in there. Let's see. King of Fire, Mask, and Magnifying Glass. I think your heart's desire, it might be, you know, because this is about performance, and the King of Fire can also be someone who can be very theatrical. They can take on different roles. She's associated it here with the Emperor card as well. I'm feeling a little bit confused. I'm not going to lie. I'm a little lost here. It could be that your heart's desire is some specific romantic partner who could be represented by the King of Fire. But let's go after this. So you're needing to clear away deception or underhandedness that's getting in the way of your heart's desire. There could be, we keep getting messages about romantic life, and I know that you guys didn't come here for romantic messages for the most part. So I want to keep this brief, but I still want this guide to be able to bring forth the message. What is, let's see, let's just try to figure out more about what the message is. I'm confused so far, I must say. I'm sorry. It happens. Okay, so we have mountain, tree, and crow. So there are definitely obstacles to you getting your heart's desire. I feel like you know, you have this certain sense of knowing, this intuition that's, you know, the snake energy, it's like this lower energy toxic. The words here are deception, jealousy, betrayal, backstab, toxic, silent treatment, seduction, sexuality. Underneath it, though, we have the tree card, which is about evolution, personal growth, vitality. And snakes in general can also be symbolic of going through an evolutionary process. You know, like the snake sheds its skin. It doesn't necessarily have that meaning in Lenormand, which is why she doesn't have any keywords on there about that, but it can indicate that. And I feel like I kind of feel like you're being guided to understand that maybe some of the what you perceive as lower energy is just something that you're needing to experience in order for you to become more grounded and to fully bloom into who you're meant to be in this lifetime. It's meant to inspire personal growth. I feel like there's a clearing away that you're having to do right now. And actually, I think that the crow can also be, you know, the spirit animal message of crow also has to do with losses or having to let go of what's no longer serving you. So this idea maybe that these lower level energies are in opposition to your own spiritual or personal growth, I think this guide wants you to understand, like with the magnifying glass, to kind of like examine this more fully. Like sometimes lower level energies actually allow us to blossom and evolve. I feel like you or your or someone who is your heart's desire, or whatever is your heart's desire, is trying to be very controlling, trying to control the outcome, trying to control how other people perceive you or them, whoever this is representing. What is this soulmate? What are they wanting you to see more clearly? The soulmate guide. You know what it is? They're wanting you to become more trusting. Gosh, why did it take 10 minutes to get to that? I'm so sorry. I feel like I should start again, but yeah, so they want you to take steps towards trusting other people more. You know, we talked in the beginning, the message seemed to be clear. You need to clear away deception because it's blocking your heart's desire. And part of the deception that you need to get rid of is this self-deception, where you're always scared that someone's going to betray you or backstab you or be toxic. You're scared of people. So I feel like you kind of like when you meet someone, whether it's romantic or friendship or whatever, you tend to be so distrustful of people, you project onto them an idea of who they are to try to protect yourself. And you generally project maybe negative adjectives onto people. Like I said, toxic, backstabber. I feel like you're having a hard time trusting people, and your inability to trust other people is keeping you from getting to your heart's desire, which might have to do with romantic love, but I think, you know, has to do with just whatever your heart's desire is. You can't obtain your heart's desire if you can't trust at all. Let's see what else they're going to say. So they want you to trust more. Thank you to the folks who have hung in there with me trying to get that message. Sometimes it's just like that. So we have owl, woman, and fish. Yeah, I feel like your guides are seeing you gaining a lot more wisdom. And you know what? Sometimes it's not even that you place these negative adjectives onto other people. You put them onto yourself as well. You think of yourself as toxic or like seductive in a negative way or deceptive or whatever. You don't see yourself very highly sometimes. And your spirit guide here wants you to see the truth of who you are, that you're someone who has so much wisdom, someone who can see through facades, who's very observant, very aware, you know, in touch with your intuition. This guide of yours is saying that if you can really see yourself more clearly, you'll see how valuable you are, and also you'll begin to experience greater prosperity in the world. What's the real crux of the message, do you think? And then we'll move on to the next guide. Ooh, Firefly. I haven't seen that card yet. Ooh, Firefly and the Moon. Okay, so we have Bridge, Firefly, and Moon. Wow. Yeah, I really feel like the message is about connecting more to your intuition, and then also allowing the spark of your soul to come forward more as well. And I feel like the more you can learn how to trust people, the right people, when you can really communicate and unite with other people, connect with other people to build things that are greater than what you could do alone, you're going to start seeing your soul spark. You're going to start seeing magic occurring in your life. And it will seem very mysterious and almost like not reality how well this works when you start valuing yourself more highly and trusting other people more. Now, again, you have to, I mean, this isn't about just trusting everyone you meet, but it's about getting in touch with your intuition more, moving beyond the fear that's keeping you always seeing people in a more negative light, in an untrusting light. And start seeing, like, even if it appears that these people are in the dark, you have to really look for the light. Look for the light in other people. Clear away this nonsense of always looking for the dark or always looking for the negative. Because like I said, snakes are also symbolic of evolution. You know, they have a very negative connotation, but when you look more closely, you see that there's more than meets the eye. And I feel like, you know, all of this lack of trust with other people also, it doesn't allow you to clearly see other people's soul spark. So this is about learning to trust more, building bridges with other people, having greater harmony, integrating your life with other people, overcoming these barriers that you've put up between yourself and other people that keep you from being able to trust. When you are able to move past all of that, you start seeing who you truly are, and you start seeing who other people truly are as well, because you're seeing their light instead of focusing so much on the negative. So I feel like that's what it is. Just focus more on the light within other people rather than the darkness. And I think this has to do, so we have a light bulb here on the Pioneer card. Because whoever this soulmate is, they are a shapeshifter. This is someone who you might also, you know, whoever this is who's coming through to speak to you from their higher self, this might even be someone who you might tend to view negatively because you're only allowing yourself to see like one wavelength of the whole spectrum of who they are. So you're being asked, I think, to view people more holistically and to see all of who they are, and particularly to look for the light. Looking for the light in other people is going to be helpful. Why do you want the viewer to look for the light in others? I feel like it's just you're creating fatigue and stress and worry. You're always on the lookout for who you need to, you know, aim your arrow at. You're a very honest person, a very spiritual person. You have high values. You have high morals. And because of that, you're kind of always suspicious of other people. But if you're always in this mindset of, you know, kind of looking for the worst and expecting the worst, you're really creating a lot of difficult karma for yourself, and also just a lot of stress. You could actually create illness within yourself by always being so on guard with other people and untrusting. So, you know, they're just nudging you in the direction of trying to be a little bit more open to other people and less suspicious. So let's see what your angel guide is going to say. What does the angel guide want to say? Oops, forgot to shuffle these in. Ooh. All right, we have the eagle, clover, and the man. Let's see, who is this? Where's the man? Grasshopper. Okay, so they want to talk to you about a man in your life. This could be a very prosperous man, a lucky man, someone who's generally pretty easygoing. And they want to talk to you about the past, present, and future with this person. There have been challenges with this person, but also opportunities. I feel like they want you to have new hope and a clear vision, a clearer perspective. You know, they want you to see that it's luck that brought you into this person's life and vice versa. And this person is good fortune for you. There's a man, particular man who's going to be a fortunate person for you. I feel like this is someone who's always changing. This is someone who embraces change. They might reinvent themselves often, maybe especially their clothing, their sense of style. Maybe they change that, I'm getting. This person gets what they want not because of luck, though. They are lucky, but they don't like it when people think that they're just luck into things, because they actually, this is a very powerful person. They are assertive, but I think they're probably assertive in more of a laid-back way. You might have experienced telepathy with this person, this man, who the angel wants to talk to you about. And they want you to know that this man is on a quest. What sort of quest is this man on? Well, they want to make their dreams real. They're very persistent and determined to get ahead in life. This is a very competitive energy. We get transformation here. The butterfly is also about transformation. Let me clarify. It could have to do with a child. This card says birth of a daughter. This card says pregnancy. And of course, we often associate storks with the birth of a child. So this person is on some sort of quest to be very successful, to be ahead of the pack. It may have to do with something related to having a child too. Maybe they want to prepare for having children and, you know, feel like they're fully prepared for that. I'm asking now, if this isn't about having a child, what else could it be about? Because not everyone's going to be in the same situation. Something about fame, networking, marketing. This person really wants to be well known in their field. So what is it about what you're going through in your life that makes this angelic guide want to talk to you about this man who you know, who's wanting to really get ahead and succeed and get ahead of the competition in life? Maybe for the reasons of preparing to have a family or to have children, perhaps. So what does it have to do with you? I think your angel wants you to compromise with this person, to have harmony and good communication with this person. This person is very frugal. I think they are saving up their money as part of maybe their strategy for how to get ahead in life. Or you're the one who's trying to save money. You're trying to learn how to use your money more wisely. And so this man is meant to be some sort of guide to you. This could be any man, you know, like whoever's coming to mind that's trying to get ahead in life and be successful and be ahead of all the competition. I feel like you're supposed to learn from this man's approach to finances and career. You know, and it may be a man, maybe it's a woman, but this person has a more masculine approach to this. And I feel like you, the viewer, have more of a feminine approach to how you're trying to get ahead in your career. So there's someone who your angels want you to look to as a role model or a guide for how to succeed. And I'm getting, for some of you, because we had that previous message about not trusting other people, for some of you, those two messages, you know, because we had the, you know, the soulmate message, the shapeshifter pioneer message that came through where you're not trusting people. Some of you don't trust this person as well. This person, and this angel is saying, you need to be less suspicious of this person. Maybe you're seeing this person as being really successful and they've really gotten ahead in life, and it makes you think they must have done something deceptive to be successful like that. And here you are just trying to save your acorns, you know, and this person is leaping ahead by leaps and bounds in terms of their financial success and career success. And maybe you don't feel like you've gotten there, but this is someone who, and you might even be, your guide might even want you to actually have a conversation with someone who is successful in some area of your life so that you can learn from them, to seek out a mentor. If this isn't someone you already know, you're being advised to seek out a mentor in whatever area you're trying to succeed in. We have the raccoon and the mask, so they both, you know, the raccoon also is wearing a mask. It says entrepreneur, persona, performance, uncommon bonds. Yeah, I feel like there's someone who's meant to be sort of a mentor to you in terms of your own career growth. Some of you, if you are entrepreneurs, whether you are or not, I feel like you're trying to be very resourceful and creative. You're trying to be a problem solver in terms of how you approach your career and life purpose goals. And This person is teaching you something, and you're not seeing beyond the mask. You know, maybe this person, in order to succeed, they have to, you know, kind of put on a persona, like be very charming or whatever, in order to succeed, and that makes you suspicious of them. But you and this person share some sort of uncommon bond. You might not think that this person is very likable, but if you look deeper, that you have actually a lot to learn from them. So let's kind of wrap up this angelic guide message and get on to the last guide for you guys. Yeah, so this person is, I feel like they're trying to influence you. Or maybe they're not consciously trying to influence you, but they are an influence to you, and they could influence you in all these beautiful ways, like finding your providence, you know, like allowing you to be blessed. Allowing you to see miracles happen in whatever area of your life you have these goals, which I think for most of you this is going to be about career and life purpose, that kind of thing. Or how to save your money better or utilize your money better. But it's sort of like you're going to be at a stalemate. You're not going to get this, you're not going to get the benefit of all this good energy this person could bring into your life, or the ways that they could teach you, what they could teach you, and how they could mentor you. You can't, as long as you're on high alert with everyone and you're always looking for the worst in everybody, you're not going to be able to really get the message. You know, you're going to resent them influencing your life. You're going to see them as a negative influence, when in fact, this person is meant to be a positive influence. So I feel like that was kind of linked to the other reading. The last reading is the last guide that we had coming through for you guys is an Ascended Master. So let's see what the Ascended Master guide has to say. I'm actually going to pull 2 more archetype cards for this to see if we can see more about who this particular Ascended Master is. We get the Scribe and the Fool. So a Scribe, I think this is someone who, an Ascended Master who maybe there are a lot of writings about them, or this is someone who has written down their own kind of spiritual, I don't know, manifesto or whatever, however you would look at it. Someone who has some writings that are available that other people can learn from. This is definitely someone, we have so much green energy. This is an Ascended Master who really is associated with the heart chakra. I'm thinking of Hilarion. Maybe for a lot of you, that might be who that is. I associate him with strong heart chakra energy. Also, Kuan Yin, of course, is very strong heart chakra. This could be an Ascended Master who has a strong connection to nature. This could be Gaia even. Of course, Gaia doesn't have writings, but I think this is someone who has maybe done some things that other people might be foolish, or might see as foolish, like they've put themselves in harm's way in order to advocate for other people. So anyway, if you have a specific Ascended Master who you have a connection with, maybe those cards will help you to figure out who specifically it is. But let's just see what this final guide wants to tell you guys who chose reading number 4. Okay, so we have research and documents. I think you are being guided maybe to read spiritual texts that have been calling out to you, or if you feel pulled to a certain spiritual guide, that's something that you should follow. Let me pause for a moment. So I feel like you guys are going and rebirth process, and you're being asked to reach out to your guides more than you have been, not to feel that you are so in isolation, that you have to do everything alone. And I do feel like there's some sort of like, you know, maybe some sort of spiritual text or something, or spiritual knowledge that you're not very experienced with, that it would benefit you from learning more about. There's also just a general message of being very gentle with yourself, recognizing that you do have a lot of wisdom. Also, you know, trusting your guides, trusting that you are guided. We had these two cards wanting to come out too while I had the camera paused. I was trying to figure out all the messages. So we have the raccoon and the fox. These are both kind of sneaky animals, you know. God, the mask just wants to come up in every reading. So they're also saying that you're very good at seeing through facades that other people put out. So I feel like they're wanting to congratulate you on that, for being able to see, you know, you're not, yeah, you might be very innocent in a lot of ways, but you're not naive. You might be part of the death and rebirth process you're going through, might be a process that is actually helping you to spot people who are living in a facade more so. I think they want you to connect. They want you to do more research regarding spirituality, and maybe for some of you specifically for charging up your psychic gifts, connecting more to your third eye, or being able to experience telepathy or lucid dreams, or just meanings that you receive through your dreams as well. You have a gift. You have a psychic gift. That's kind of, I feel like that might even be the main message. This ascended master is saying you have a psychic gift, and you need to do research into that psychic gift so that you can grow that, because you have a strong sense of discernment, but you know who people are, but you need to become better at that. It was just earlier in this same reading, wasn't it? I think it was. I've been at this for 2 hours now, but I think it was your all's reading at the beginning where it said that you have trouble trusting people. So it's weird. You have trouble trusting people, but you are good at spotting when someone's not being authentic. I think you trying to maybe jump the gun a little bit too much sometimes, and just kind of try to find the deception in everybody, and not everybody is being deceptive or purposely deceptive, but yeah, you have a psychic gift and you need to use that gift and you need to hone that gift. Your Ascended Master Guide wants you to focus on, learning how to be more in touch with that psychic understanding that you do have access to. So, all right, I hope that message was helpful for you guys. Thank you so much for watching and for your patience, and I'll see you later. Bye, guys. Hey, guys who chose reading number 5. I'm going to spray some Clary Sage spray to clear the energy here. So we've got 2 cards coming up from the Carolyn Mace archetype deck, Trickster and Rescuer, to kind of help us understand who it is. Who is this soulmate? Keeps coming through. Soulmate. A lot of you have soulmates who want to talk to you. Soulmate and angel. We have one more. I feel like there's one more, but this is, yeah, you have a lot of guides. You have a lot of guides around you. Okay, so you got a lot going on here. I don't know that I can read for all of these because that would take forever. But I'm going to start here with Spirit Animal Trickster because I feel like I'm just kind of intuitively trying to understand who these guides are. So I actually feel like, one of your guides I think is a soulmate. And as this is the 3rd time it's come up in the readings today, soulmate can be a friend, it can be a romantic connection, it can be a family member. A soulmate is just someone who you have a soul bond. A lot of times we hear the term used in a romantic sense. It doesn't have to be like that. So I feel like you have some sort of soulmate who's very angelic. They're very sweet. They like to rescue people. Very innocent. And for some of you, this might just be an angel guide. But we'll see more of what it is. If it is an angel, this might be an angel who has rescued you. If you've ever had that kind of experience, an angelic rescue or an angelic intervention, I feel like this might be an angel for some of you who has done that. For others, it might be a soulmate, but we'll see in a moment what the message is. And I think we have a spirit animal who's a trickster. I'm thinking like coyote, but there are a lot of animals who have a trickster energy. That's one of them. That's why I wanted to combine these, because I know coyote is one, but there are others. And I actually feel like alien and higher self kind of want to combine that your higher self has access to knowledge from maybe lifetimes living in other star systems or something like that, being what we would think of as an alien. Of course, you wouldn't have considered yourself that way, but you have lived in other star systems, and I feel like your higher self wants to maybe talk to you about that. Okay, so where shall we start? Let's start with our spirit animal guide. We'll get their message first, and then we'll look at the other guides first. So we're going to start right here. Let's kind of not distract ourselves. We'll focus on this. I'm going to use the Intuit Oracle deck to get the message. Woo. Okay, what does your trickster spirit animal guide want to say to you? Waterfall, woman, light bulb. I feel like your spirit animal guide wants to talk to you about you like having this light bulb moment of like noticing how much of a goddess you are, basically. Or you need to have that sort of enlightenment and see yourself that way. We have birds, dolphins, owl. Also, I mean, they just want to tell you that you resonate with a lot of different spirit animal energies. Maybe particularly birds in general, but also dolphins. I mean, just a lot. I think you all are very gifted actually in working with spirit animals. So they want you to do that. If you haven't been doing that as much, they feel like that's an important area for you to focus, is working on your connection to spirit animal. Oops. Lily, moose, sun. Yeah. I mean, your trickster spirit animal guide really just wants you to see how beautiful you are. How beautiful, how powerful. It's kind of like you have glowed up, or, you know, you're not seeing how wonderful you are. Or maybe for some of you, you've already had that enlightenment, like I said. But I feel like that's kind of the primary message here. I'm not getting much of a secondary message. They just want you to know how beautiful and awesome and goddess-like you are. Let's just try. Is there a secondary message from this spirit animal? Again, they just want you to know your worth. Also in terms of how you partner with other people, especially for really committed relationships. They want you to always hold true to how, you know, powerful and beautiful you are. They don't want you to ever lose sight of that. You know, you're going to have better connections with people if you continue to hold yourself in that beautiful light and say, you know, like, I'm gorgeous, I'm intelligent, I'm talented, I'm gifted. So that's, I feel like, the most of what the thank you for making that succinct, spirit animal, because we've got 3 guides to talk to. Let's go next to the higher self alien guide, your higher self, who wants to bring you the wisdom of when you have experienced life in other star systems. What do they want to talk to you about? Hope. So my light's gone out. That's okay. I've been recording for a long time. You can still see though. Camera looks like it's picking up. We have the white wolf, the whip, and then the road. There's something that's happening in your life over and over again. It's like you've gotten stuck in some sort of loop. You know, like you're in the woods and you walk around in a circle thinking you have moved on, and then you come back to this same crossroads and you keep taking the same direction and going around in this loop over and over and over again. But it's an abusive, maybe something to do with anger, but like repeated abuse or a repeated negative situations, maybe repeated arguments, tense experiences. But it's like you keep choosing what's wrong for you. And this guide that's coming through, the higher self alien guide, is wanting you to free yourself of this, you know, circular pattern that you've found yourself in. They do want you to know that your wishes are coming true, and that you are moving in the right direction in life. If any of you know where your North Node is, the message is also that you're living up to your North Node in your astrology chart, or just your life purpose. You're living up to your life purpose. Even though you've gotten caught in some sort of spiral here, a negative spiral of some kind, they still want you to know that you are overall still headed in the right direction, and it's okay to explore. So it's okay. We have many lifetimes. We have many spiritual lessons. So if you want to get caught in a loop every now and then, it's okay. It's not anything to feel negative about. And it's good to just give yourself a break as well. Like, you should notice, oh, I'm in this negative pattern that I can't seem to free myself from. But they don't want you to notice that for the purposes of having a negative opinion of yourself or anything like that. They don't want you to think negatively of yourself, because overall you're still moving in the right direction. And you know, maybe whatever this is, maybe you need to walk around in circles for a while to really let the lesson settle in. But I feel like your guide is telling you it might be time finally to, you know, move on, to liberate yourself from this pattern that you have been going through, that is a very negative pattern where you keep finding yourself in the same situation over and over. Yeah, they want you to know that you're making steady movement in life, and you are bettering yourself. You are it's kind of like they want you to say, even though you're kind of in this negative spiral, I feel like I've said this 5 times in different ways, but you know, the anchor here is making me feel like there's a reason why you're stuck. There's a reason why you're kind of stuck in whatever this round and round whirlpool situation is. There's a reason for it. And so the way that you free yourself from this is looking for the reason. Why is it that you are going round and round and round and getting stuck in some sort of negative situation? They want you to really seek for your wisdom so that you can finally move past this. They definitely don't want you to feel bad about getting stuck, because getting stuck itself is an illusion, they're saying. You're not really stuck. You're just really driving the message home. You're really driving that lesson home that you're learning right now. But they want you to have new goals. They want you to be able to move on now to a new spiritual lesson. So I do feel like that's primarily what this higher self alien wants to tell you. Let's go ahead and see what this guide is wanting to say as well. Hey guys, so I paused the video to go do something, and then I did forget until I went back and tried to edit the video together. I'm like, wait, I missed out the last section of the people who chose number 5 here. So anyway, I'm coming back to it. So we had this rescuer angel soulmate guide who wanted to give a message to you as well, in addition to the messages that you've already gotten from the other 2 guides that came forward to for you guys. So I believe I said originally that, you know, this could be just an angel for some of you. You know, maybe even an angel who has you know, come into your life to assist you, to rescue you. But for some of you, it could be a soulmate who has a very angelic presence, just someone who's very kind, very loving, who always wants to help people. And if it is your soulmate, I'm sure I probably already said this, but just in case, this is going to be someone who is alive and is communicating to you through their higher self. So what does this guide want to address with you? We have Moose, Stallion, and Book. I'm just going to clarify each of these. Moose. Double rainbow. I love this card. Clouds. There's something about, you know, needing to have time alone, I think. You know, keeping yourself calm, cool, and collected about some area of your life where you need to kind of spend some time alone. Maybe you don't like to spend time alone. But there's something here about timing where you may need to be very independent. And this time that you're spending alone is needed for you to ascend, like to connect to your spirituality in a higher way, in a way that actually frees you from any kind of limitations. I kind of feel really like, you know, you're being asked to look within and be introspective to find the answers that you seek within yourself, kind of. I know that's a little bit woo-woo, but that's the message I'm getting. They want you to seek and find the answers within yourself. And that requires spending time alone and being contemplative. There might be something that you perceive as being wrong in your life related to, you know, your childhood, your home, your roots, your family. And I think this going within process is helping you to have these aha moments regarding what you feel is going wrong in your life in relation to your family. There's sort of like a spiritual hang up there, like a stuck point that you're having regarding family, childhood, maybe how you were raised, and yeah, you're being asked to look within yourself to find these answers. This guide also wants you to be happier. They want you to have this sun energy, you know, like they want you to radiate, you know, this powerful, beautiful energy, because they feel like that is your right to do that. They want you to enjoy life more. Your guide is seeing you as being very resilient. I think there might be something complicated in your life related to family values, you know, and that, again, it connects to your childhood. And I feel like there's something related to your family, the way that you were raised, the values you were raised with, that kind of thing, that you're trying to understand more fully right now. It feels very complicated, and it's almost like your family issues are complicating other areas of your life, or that's how it feels. It's like, if I didn't have these stupid family members, everything would be so much easier. I think we can all relate to that. For some of you, it's also affecting your love life. These family values, complicated issues related to family and home. It's making you feel, like you're alone. I feel like it makes you feel isolated from having the romantic experience, because we have the fireworks card. Makes you feel isolated from being able to have that kind of connection in the way that you want. Maybe you were taught to be very innocent, and so you don't know how to just let loose and enjoy the passion with someone. Could be something like that for some of you. But your family life is affecting your romantic life, and it's making you feel very lonely. I think some of you also are wanting to travel away from your family. I feel like, you're still wanting to be in communication. You still want that bridge to be there. You still want harmony. But I feel like you're wanting distance from your family, because it's almost like the closer you are to your family, the less close you are to other people. And you're wanting this passionate part of your life to be fulfilled more than it has been. It could be an issue also with in-laws. Maybe in-laws, if you're in a relationship, interfering with your life. We keep getting family stuff. I mean, I honestly feel like, this guide is recognizing that you do need to be kind of rescued or given strength to deal with a situation regarding family where maybe your family members are a little bit loony, they're not being a very helpful, your family isn't being very supportive to you, in moving ahead in life. It's like you want to be very easygoing in life, and you feel like instead of just being able to move on from these family expectations, maybe your family members want you to do a lot for them or something like that, but you whatever it is, or it's just their ideologies, or you feel kind of trapped, I think, by family issues, and you'd rather just be easygoing and just move on in your life. You definitely want to have more distance between yourself and your family. What does this guide, what do they suggest that you do? Well, they definitely feel like you love your family. There is unconditional love there. But of course, you also deserve to have this, love of a lifetime in your romantic life, separate from them. And I feel like for one thing, they're wanting you to just try to adopt a more positive frame of mind. It seems like you're trying to do that. You want to not be worrying. You want to be very easygoing. But for some reason, you're feeling like your family or your family issues are keeping you from being able to do that. And you're not able to enjoy going out on dates and things the way that you would like to do. Oh, God, I almost dropped the whole deck. So what's what does this guide want to guide you to do? Or, yes, you deserve all of this, but what is the way forward? Yeah, I feel like they just keep describing the problem or the situation, which is that you're at a crossroads in life. You want to find your own way in life. You have, sexual romantic feelings, and you want to act on those. I think they're just reminding you that you have free will. You have free will. Your family doesn't get to decide everything for you. You get to make the decision. You get to find your own way. It's sort of like just taking ownership of your life, taking back your power in this situation, I think. What else do they want to say here? What's the guidance? What is this? What does the viewer need to know? Well, they're saying you're very wise and you're very loyal. And I think that they are also, your guide is seeing you as someone whose wisdom comes from your ability to seek out new experiences, you know, to do things that you haven't done before. It's also because even though you do focus on yourself sometimes because you have your goals, you want to do exciting things in life, explore the unknown. You want to explore the unknown, see new things, experience new things. They're seeing you as very much like that, but they also see you as being someone who can do that, explore the unknown, and go off and chase sunsets and that kind of thing. But you're also just a very supportive, loyal, devoted person to your friends and your family and your, lover. That's just who you are. So it makes sense that you would be so bothered by the fact that your, family obligations or whatever seem to be impacting you having success in other areas of your life, because you're a really loyal person. You love your family, even if they are a little bit Looney Tunes. You still love them. Okay. So I think they want to say that there are some obstacles that you need to avoid when it comes to, having this romantic situation, success in your dating life that you're seeking. And the warning might have something to do with communication. Tell us more about the warning. There's something about, maybe you feel like there has to be a loss of some sort of happy, comfortable life in order to feel more secure, like something has to be lost or something has to be ended. Maybe you feel like you have to cut ties with your family in order to have a secure, magical chemistry with someone romantically. Maybe you feel like you have to choose. Either it's romance or it's my family of origin, and I can't have both. And your spirit guide is seeing that as clearly an obstacle, that you would feel that you had to choose one over the other. So what do they want to say about that obstacle? This is a situation that is continuing to develop, and things are going to improve over time. Things are going to get better, and it's going to be easier to balance out the two. I feel like you're going to rise above this. Your focus is going to change regarding this, struggle between family and romantic life. And things are just going to improve. I feel like... So what, is there anything that the viewer can do to facilitate things improving here? I mean, this is the first time I've seen this albatross come out. It says a good sign or omen. Wow, a good sign or omen, baggage, burdens, feeling cursed, guilt, shame, regret. I think your family causes you to feel a lot of these negative emotions, guilt, shame, and regret. And they make you feel a little bit cursed sometimes. And it's just like, despite all of that negativity, this albatross is telling you that this is still a good sign or omen. Like there are good things to come here. Things are going to improve. You're going to rise above all of this. You're going to trust You're going to trust yourself, believe in your own power. It's really just about being in tune with your own power and kind of just asserting yourself. I think asserting yourself with your family, you know, because nobody deserves to feel guilt and shame and regret, you know, not to be burdened with it or to feel cursed by it. It's normal to have those emotions from time to time. But if someone is like trying to make you feel that way all the time, you need to have confidence in yourself enough to free yourself from that kind of situation and know that you have some power in this situation. You're not powerless here. Is there anything final to be said about this? Yeah, you are your own authority and you're going to create happiness and harmony. Maybe you just need this reassurance that everything's going to turn out okay. You know, this is a really clear struggle. It's hard for you to stay balanced with all of this between, you know, being drawn towards having this exciting romantic life and the fact that your family seems to be holding you back from that in some way. But I feel like there's a real breakthrough happening, and that's the message. You know, things are going to improve over time. You're gonna be able to have this magnetic attraction with someone. You're gonna be magnetized, and it is going to work out. Let's just pull one card and see if there's one final message here. Yeah, you've definitely been feeling very trapped. And I think it isn't just your family. It could be that, you know, you also feel trapped on the other end too, from the romantic end of it too. You're like, maybe you're afraid that, you know, your partner or love interest wouldn't want to be around your family. So you feel trapped from both ends because you're very loyal. You love your family. And, you know, maybe there's someone you're in a relationship who you love, or you're just seeking that kind of romantic love, and you want to be the best for both worlds, but you kind of feel like both parties would want you all to their self. Like your family just wants to make you feel guilty if you try to like create a life for yourself, and you're afraid as well that your love partner might want the same, you know. Maybe you're like, I don't you know, I don't want to put up with my family all the time, so I can't see why a love interest would want to. What do you think is the solution? What's going to help the viewer? I know that was supposed to be the final message, but it seemed really insightful. I think you definitely need to be connected to God, however you see God to be. You need to be more open with people and not hide how you feel about things. I think sometimes you don't speak very openly, especially to your family. And you need to do that. You know, it's like take baby steps. You know, maybe you're just used to not doing that with your family, not being open with them, not being assertive. And, you know, just take steps to do that. You're wise, and you will know how to make this situation better. Okay, so I hope that was a helpful message. That added another 20 minutes to your reading. Gosh, these are such long readings. If you actually made it to the end of it, let me know in the comments, because I don't know how these ended up being so long. I wonder if people will even actually watch all of their readings, but I think that was a good message. So I hope that someone out there's, you know, got something out of it. Again, thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Hey guys, welcome to reading number 6. I've got a couple of cards here because the first thing that we're going to do is try to figure out who your guide or guides are. And we're using this Carolyn Mace archetype deck, and also this little deck that I've created to kind of give us a better idea. This is the first time with your 2 archetype cards that have come up here that I've felt like the archetype cards, well, maybe there was one other reading where that kind of happened. But I think that your archetype cards are the same guide, artist and storyteller. So I feel like this is a creativity guide, a spirit guide that's probably meant to help you with your creativity, with your, you know, whatever kind of art that you do. Let's see. Pull. We got Soulmate. The Soulmate card just wants to keep coming out. Soulmate and Alien. Oh, Lord. What is wrong with these readings? An Archangel. Okay. So your creativity guide, I'm going to think, is not the Soulmate. Trying to figure out who exactly your guides are. So you definitely have a guide that is meant to guide you when it comes to art. And then we have also perhaps a soulmate guide, an alien or like a star person, you know, a being from another star system. And then an archangel. So that could be Michael, Raphael, Gabriel, etc. So I'm trying to figure out, do you have 4 guides wanting to come through, or is this creative guide, is it combining with one of these? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Let me see. Do one of these. Alien. So I feel like you actually have maybe a star seed. I've put alien on here, but star seed is maybe a better word. And, you know, we don't have a lot of knowledge of what other civilizations are like throughout the universe, obviously. But I think it's not too out of the box to assume that, you know, even in these other civilizations, you know, people who we would think of as aliens, and maybe they look weird to us or whatever, it's not too strange to think that they would also have art where they're from. And so, you know, I feel like that is the message that's going to come through. We also have a soulmate guide, and we have an archangel guide. So we're going to get a message from this guide. We're going to get a message from this guide and a message from this guide. We'll start here because this is a more interesting one, but I think with soulmate, I just want to, you know, clarify, because it keeps coming up, soulmate, and God, like probably 4 out of the 6 readings. A soulmate, this is going to be someone who's currently alive, and the message that comes through from them is going to be more from their higher self. So they're not going to be consciously aware that they're sending you a message, but from their higher self, they want to communicate something to you. A soulmate can be a friend, it can be a family member, it can be a lover. It can be anyone who you have a significant soul connection to. So let's start first with your Starseed Artist Guide. I'll turn these over so we can focus. What does your Starseed Guide want to talk to you about? I'm using the Intuit Oracle deck. And if you noticed in the intro, of course, you'll have a chance on August 22nd to watch my live stream where I'm going to be doing free readings, and you can enter if you're watching for a chance to win one of these for yourself. So let's see, we have the Stallion, Archer, and Waterfall. Well, there's definitely something here that your guide wants to address about you having freedom, and it's freedom as it relates to having strong emotions. So we get flood of emotions, strong emotions. I think that you all, sometimes your emotions overwhelm you and they just come out bursting like in a waterfall, or maybe you, you know, you react very quickly when you're emotionally triggered. I don't get from this that it necessarily is a very negative experience that you have, but you are, I would say, a very emotionally centered person, and someone who also really likes to have a lot of freedom. You like to be released from confinement. You like to be unbridled, and you're very motivated in life. If you, they could be wanting to talk about, we'll see more about what this is, because I think they might want to talk to you about your art. And of course, emotions and passion are what fuel artistic creation. You know, so I think at least part of the message is learning how to free yourself from, you know, maybe being burdened by your emotions or overwhelmed by your emotions. You know, just take that emotion, take that passion and channel it towards, you know, hitting your target in life. You know, be focused on achieving your goals. We have lots of horses. Horse, horse, horse. So lots of freedom-seeking energy. You know, horses like to run free, but they can also be domesticated. So there's always that, you know, kind of, I don't know what the word is, but a balance that has to be struck. When you see horse, spirit, animal coming through, usually it indicates someone who really enjoys their freedom. This Archer card also reminds me of the sign of Sagittarius. And of course, Sagittarius is the most freedom-seeking sign, as far as I'm concerned. Not that there aren't others that are as well, but let's see here. We have yeah, I mean, I think that you are being that the message is something about how freedom is so important to your personal growth, your personal evolution, your spiritual understanding. And also, if you guys have been trying to be calmer, I definitely feel like either they feel like your guide is saying you've done so much work on yourself to really calm down your emotions and be more in control of your emotions, and they love that. I also see they're seeing you as being very balanced between having this emotional calm, or like, you know, when the torrent of emotions hit, you're able to quickly bring it into calmness. And maybe it's because you've been practicing mindfulness or meditation. Maybe you've been going to therapy. But then on the other side of things, it's balanced with this strong passion and momentum. So I really feel like they want you to take the balance of the passion in your life and your ability to control and work with your emotions. It's kind of like the ability to control paint on a canvas, right? So they like the fact that you are able to balance your passionate emotions with your ability to be very centered and rooted. So I feel like this is almost like praise or, you know, congratulations on a job well done. What, if anything, do they want to say to you about art? So you have the lion, the hummingbird, and the raccoon. So in terms of art, you know, they want you to enjoy making art and to be present in the moment. They also want you to be proud of yourself because your art really comes from your heart. And the raccoon is, you know, you're very clever, you're resourceful. You know, if you don't have all of the art supplies or whatever you need, you can just make art out of anything. Okay, what is the primary message that this guide wants to bring through? Okay, I think we're getting into the more serious stuff now. So you are at a crossroads in your spiritual journey. And this spiritual crossroads that you're at, it does have to do with your connection to star seeds. Perhaps you are a star seed. It has to do with your connection to the cosmos. They also could be talking about the earth being at a crossroads. And that is, you know, the cosmos, we're all connected throughout the universe. So everything affects everything else. So what's happening on Earth, you know, you hear about people coming here as star seeds to assist in the evolution of our planet. Why would they do that? Because these are more advanced, spiritually advanced beings, and they have this understanding. They have this very clear understanding that we're all connected. So I do feel like, and this is a new beginning. I feel like the earth is about to go through a new beginning, and this also is about you personally. So this is about the earth and your, you know, your purpose on the earth. But it's also about you individually. So let's see what they want to say about this. We have the tower, the lighthouse, and the elephant. So the initial message I'm getting is that you may be trying to really isolate yourself. You're trying to stand alone. Some of you might be, you know, institutions, governments may be bothering you right now. Like it might be hard for you to center yourself in your heart space towards the earth because you're very perplexed, and you know, you want to separate yourself from certain things that are happening maybe politically or with corporations or institutions. So you'd rather just stand alone. You'd rather be on your own. But this guide is saying you can't, I mean, you can isolate yourself, but nobody is really an island, truly. Nobody is truly an island. I feel like you're being guided to take on more of the elephant spirit animal messages, and elephants are very involved in their family structure, you know, extended family. They, you know, they move in herds. They form these very deep bonds with each other. They're very wise. I feel that what you're being guided to do is maybe even to use your art as a means of feeling more connected to the whole. I really feel like a big part of the message is you need to see yourself as more connected to everyone, even people who you don't like, even institutions or governments that you don't like. You need to see how everything is interwoven together. And I think your art is a means, of expressing that, but also exploring what that really means. You know, really getting into your heart and really feeling your heart chakra, connecting with that sense of oneness. Yeah. I mean, right, we get new beginnings keep coming up. You are breaking this, you're breaking this unhealthy attachment. You know, you felt trapped, and you know, maybe you feel like the way to liberate yourself is to isolate yourself. But I feel like this guide is saying you can liberate yourself through a new beginning that involves actually being interconnected with other people. And your life is going to change in a big way, whether you want it to or not. That's going to happen. There's going to be a breakdown of any kind of negative attachments that you have. Anything that's weighing you down, that's making you feel depressed. I feel like you are getting a new lease on life, sort of. So we get the church and cross coming up. So I feel like they are also wanting to address something related to probably more so religion than spirituality and values. I think they want you to form closer bonds with people who, you know, have similar values to you. because it's really important for you to be to be learning from other people, but also to have that kind of like spiritual and or religious fellowship. I think they feel like you're going to see the world more clearly and just be happier if you put more effort into being involved with other people, groups of people, and like involved with people when it comes to having shared values. So, this could be joining a group where you discuss, similar political ideas. It could be a self-help group, whatever it is, but like people with similar values, or it could be finding a church somewhere or some other sort of spiritual worship service or something. But I feel like they are saying that you're going to be finding more supportive friends. Let's see. I think you're going to be finding your people, and this guide is wanting to help support you in that. Expressing yourself artistically somehow helps that process. Realizing how connected you are to other people also helps that process. What does this guide most want to tell you? You belong. You belong. If you have this sense of isolation and that you don't belong, this guide is really trying to help you with many different tools. We want to use your passion. We want to use your emotions. We want to use your artistic, creative ability. We want to use all of that to help you understand that you belong. If you are a starseed, sometimes starseeds really don't feel like they belong. They feel like so strange and so different from everyone else, which is true. But you do belong, and you're going to find your family, your kind of like your spiritual family, your loyal, supportive, community. You're going to be finding your sense of community, and I feel like this is what this guide is trying to help you do. So let's see. And this guide is also telling you when you don't see a way out of situations, you can ask for help. There's never no way out. There are always solutions. Even when it seems like you're trapped, there are always solutions. So they're wanting to remind you of that. Okay, I'm going to pull one more card and then we're going to move on because I think we've gotten the gist of the message. So finally we have swans. I just feel like, and this is partly romantic, I think this guide wants that for you as well, but it's really deep down, it's like they want to remind you it's so important for your well-being to have deep soul connections with other people. And a deep soul connection doesn't have to mean specifically romance, although most people, want that, and your guide would want that for you too, but this is more about recognizing that you need you need supportive people in your life. You need faithful companions. You need people who are loyal to you, who you can trust. You need to have that sense of belonging. And so even if you think that it's not possible, this guide is telling you that it is, that you can have a greater sense of belonging and with it a greater sense of well-being. So let's go ahead and move on to your soulmate guide, who wanted to give you a message as well. Let me reshuffle. Like we said before, the soulmate can be friends, it could be lover or love interest, it could be family. Let's see here. What does this soulmate want to, what message do they want to give? Okay, they want to talk about the direction that you're going down in life, how to move forward at a steady pace, and how to kind of hitch your wagon to luck, to a sense of luckiness, How to allow your wishes to come true. So what can you do to continue along the correct path in life and allow all of your wishes to come true? Okay. So I feel like this soulmate from their higher self, they're seeing that when it comes to passion and chemistry and romance, I feel like you've had let's see. I wanted to say at first, I feel like you've had a lot of challenges because I saw the word challenge here, but it's challenge the status quo. Let me see. Okay. This soulmate of yours is wanting you to have a sort of a breakthrough and to have clearer vision about your past, present, and future. And I do feel like it has to do with romance, because we have this fireworks card and it says passion, chemistry, lust, kissing, exhilaration, holiday, celebration, explosive, hot sex. So if that's what it is supposed to be about, what's the message about that part of aspect of life? Let's see. So I'm thinking that some of it might be that you've had maybe a lot of power struggles when it comes to your love life. I feel like your guide does see you as really maturing. They feel like you've had a lot of experience, but maybe not all of it has been good in terms of dating and that kind of thing. Maybe you've encountered people who were possessive and difficult. I feel like your guide is saying that they see you leaving behind people who are like unpredictable and too assertive, too possessive, too elusive. And you're on a quest to find something that's more mature. You know, you're trying to find a more mature love. Yeah, see, I was right. This is about romance, because this magnet card is almost, to me, it looks like the higher level of the fireworks card. Like you just have such a, when it comes to these, they're wanting to talk about, you know, when you have this strong, undeniable attraction to someone. Oh, well, I think part of the message here is that, you know, you're making the right choices in life right now. You're going forward in the right way in order to mature yourself in terms of how you approach romance. And I feel like they're saying that that is going to magnetize you for the right person and the right situation to come into your life. You know, this guide is aware that you are watching the clock. You know, you're like, I'm trying to wait for my perfect timing, but why does my perfect timing have to take so long? And they are reminding you that it is a process, the process of arrival, to keep going, that, you know, you're going to make it, because you are making choices right now that are very positive, and those choices are magnetizing the right person to you. You know, and I also think they're saying that sometimes when you meet someone and you have that real strong chemistry and someone just kind of lights you up and makes you feel so magical, you start getting so stressed out about. So it's at first it's magical and wonderful, but it quickly turns into I'm so stressed out. You know, like you might be going into fantasy mode and having these romantic thoughts, but it's also a lot of fear, you know, because it's the unknown. The fear of the unknown causes you all of this anxiety. So I feel like you're not fully able to enjoy just the beautiful illumination, the soul spark, the magical feeling of having someone special come into your life. You're not being able to enjoy that so much because you're moving too quickly into this stress, worry, anxiety. Worried, you know, that it's not going to turn out right or whatever. I feel that the message is you need to stay more into this mindset. This is the more magnetic mindset. The more you can stay here, the easier it is for you to magnetize the type of romantic situation that you really want. Getting into this anxiety is just going to make it take longer. Is there anything else that this soulmate guide wants to talk about? Mask, road, house. So I feel like you guys maybe grew up in a family situation where you weren't allowed to really say how you really felt about things, or maybe maybe the way that you viewed the world was different from your family, so you just didn't talk about it that much. You just kind of kept it to yourself. So they're wanting to talk to you about that. What do they want to say to you about that? I feel like they want to say that in order to make your dreams real in life, you need to be more self-interested. It's okay to be more self-interested and to liberate yourself, and, you know, being willing to say, you know, the fox doesn't necessarily always come out and tell everyone exactly what they're thinking. They're a little bit more sly and cunning, but they are self-interested, you know, and it's, I feel like the advice is for you to be more like the fox in terms of that. So, in other words, you don't have to always hide who you are. You know, you don't have to, you know, throw it in someone's face if your political or spiritual beliefs are different from theirs, but, or whatever it is that's different. You know, maybe they don't like the way that you dress or whatever. But you have a right to be your own person and to have your own individual ideas. It's okay to be self-interested. I feel like when it comes to your family, you don't have to wear this mask all the time. It's okay to liberate yourself from that. I think there's more of a message here about making your dreams come true. What's that meaning? I have this feeling that you guys know, and maybe you've had signs. Yeah, I think you've definitely received signs that something specific is supposed to happen in your life, and it hasn't happened yet. And it's something you want to happen. And you've been receiving signs, multiple signs, that this is going to happen. So they're also wanting to let you know that, yes, you know, it, so what else are they wanting you to know? Yes, it's going to happen, but what else? Oh, it's the first time I've seen the trophy card coming out. You are going to be successful for sure. Whatever it is that you have gotten these signs that's going to happen about making some sort of dream come true, it is. A lot of the way to get there, though, it's hidden. You know, it has a lot to do with the book of life, I guess. You know, like just how things are meant to unfold in your life in a certain way, and you can't see that. You know, you haven't read your own book of life. You don't know that, but they are telling you that in the end, the story is going to conclude with you being victorious, and whatever this dream is that you're wanting to come true. They do want you to be more in touch with your own intuition, to try to, you can't see everything. You can't know all of the secrets, but you can, if you continue to practice your intuition and try to be calm and just be true to yourself, you can see more clearly. Like this falcon, you can rise above everything and look down and really see, be connected to your higher self, understand the way forward. And so don't worry. Don't worry about this, because it's going to happen. Your dream is going to come true, whatever it is. I think this is something different from romance, but if it seems like it's about romance, you can take it as that as well. But some sort of important dream is going to come true for you. And this is something that you've already received multiple signs of, and this is sort of a confirmation. So let's move on to your Archangel guide. See what your Archangel wants to say to you. Let's see here. Okay, so your Archangel, I feel like, wants to talk about, grounded spirituality, personal growth. I see the Tree card as being a lot about spirituality. You're going through some sort of transformation, and I think your Archangel wants you to be able to avoid any kind of obstacles along the way. And there's something to do with society and the public. The Garden card is all about, just public stuff. It could even be like something like Facebook, or, just anything where people are communicating in a public way. So if you go to a mall, this would be like a garden type situation. If you go to the store, the same thing. If you go out to a movie, go to a party, anywhere like a public venue where people are socializing. There's something to do with socializing, and I guess it's affecting your spiritual life in some way. And there's something to do with toxic energy, jealousy, backstabbing, something along those lines in terms of your social network. Maybe you've experienced a lot of toxic people, and you're trying to transform. I think you're trying to transform and be a better person, but it's sort of like you get dragged down by these negative people who are around you. I kind of feel like that's sort of what they're wanting to address. And there's something about, maybe you've been communicating with a male or a very masculine person. You've been in communication with someone. And I feel like this is someone who you maybe want to have a partnership with, or you want to have closure with them. I think you might not be sure if you can trust this person, because we've had this snake up here. So maybe they've done or said things in a public setting, and again, that can be on social media if it's out there for other people to see, or it can be something that they've said in like a group, but something they've said or done publicly, I think, is making you suspicious, maybe perhaps, of this person. You're feeling like maybe they're toxic energy, but at the same time, I definitely feel like you like this person. You do kind of trust, you want to form some sort of partnership with them, some sort of alliance. But at the same time, you're like, maybe closure is better. Maybe I should just continue on with my life and get closure instead of trying to form a closer bond with them, because I'm not really sure that they're bringing me very positive energy right now. And your archangel does want you to be able to avoid any obstacles when it comes to this situation in your life. They want you to, you know, have as much clarity as possible about the situation. So what are the motives of this man? What are his motives? Does he have good motives? Is he a snake? What's going on here? Yeah, I feel like this is actually a very balanced individual. It might even be someone who meditates. They're very calm. They actually have a very calm and beautiful, lovely energy. I feel like they have a wonderful aura. So what are the obstacles regarding this situation that, you know, you're trying to be a better person, you want to be spiritually evolved and all that, but there's some situation regarding a man that you don't totally trust, but you do like this man at the same time. So what's your guide's advice for how to handle that? Okay, so we have the Broom, Snowflake Woman, and Lily. Okay. So I feel like the situation with this guy, it's something that's developing over time. And I feel like as things continue to develop, it's going to get better and better. So part of you might feel like you want closure with this person, for instance. You feel like it's going to feel better just to have closure and sweep this person out of your life and not have to worry about them so much anymore. But this is something that's going to continue to develop over time. So you might try to sweep them out of your life, but this person is not going to completely be out of your life. There's still going to be a presence in your life in some way. I feel like there is going to be contentment with this person. You're going to have happiness and harmony with them. I feel like something about this connection, whether you realize it or not, is also helping you to see your own individual beauty, how you're unique compared to other people, and what about that makes you so beautiful and desirable. Okay, so we have the trophy card coming up again. So you're going to have, you know, this is going to lead to something successful. Yeah, a lot of happiness is going to come from this. This is going places. Whoever this man is, you know, he has wonderful energy. I mean, you doubt it sometimes for whatever reason. I mean, things have happened. Something's happened. He's said or done something publicly which has made you not trust him, I feel like. Or it could be something that he said and communicated to you privately, but there's something that's been said or done that makes you not trust him. But this archangel is telling you, you know, good things are coming from this. This is a good person, for one thing. This is a really good person, and good things are going to come of this. What are the obstacles that they would want you to avoid? You know, I feel like they're saying that sometimes you feel that things are working against you, but it's because, again, you don't see what's happening behind the scenes. And so it's causing you to be confused. It's causing you to see someone who has beautiful energy. I mean, look, if these cards are indicating this person's energy, this is a wonderful person. I mean, you don't even have to be good at reading cards to see like, oh, these are beautiful images. If this is meant to represent who this person is, I feel like they have really wonderful, this is a very kind, a very loving person. But because you don't understand exactly why things are happening in a certain way, it makes you really doubt this connection. But something good is going to happen here. I think the obstacle that they want you to avoid most is just assuming the worst. You know, assuming the worst. Assuming that things are always going to work against you. The only reason you feel that way, again, is because you're innocent to all of this underlying stuff that's going on, that's influencing the situation. And a lot of that is just like destiny, fate, things needing to develop in a certain way. The dominoes need to line up in a certain way. All right. Any final messages from your archangel about this guy? I feel like the two of you, you know, communication is going to be important here, but also there's been a lot of nervous communication. You know, communication has been a little bit skittish or maybe not very productive so far. So I do feel like, you know, as you continue to allow this situation to develop like a fine wine, you know, your guide is just saying, be open to, be a little bit more open-minded to this person when it comes to communication. And I think that you'll understand each other better. All right, are there any other areas of life that your archangel guide wants to talk about? Firefly. No, I think it's about... Okay, you know, we're going a little deeper here. Yeah, so for a lot of you, this man that we've been talking about is probably a romantic interest. And this person, like, they've been magnetized. You guys are so attracted to each other because you allow each other to let go of things, I think, from your childhood that you need to let go of. Or it allows you to confront certain losses that you've experienced in life. In other words, this person is allowing you to let go of things that no longer serve you. Whether you see it that way or not, they're inspiring that change in you. And they're also, you know, the way that things are developing, even though it might not make sense to you, is actually creating a very stable foundation. It's allowing this to be very solid and grounded, and to give it more endurance. And this is going to be a situation that has a lot of endurance because it's going to develop over time. It's going to continue to develop. So yeah, so I feel like those are your messages. I hope that you enjoyed that, people who chose reading number 6. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye, guys.